My brother demanded a kidney, but he was a lifelong bully. My parents' ultimatum changed everything. I never thought I'd be in this position. It feels like a bad dream, one of those overly dramatic made-for-TV movies, but it's my life, and I genuinely don't know what to do. I'm 32 years old, a software engineer, happily married to my wonderful spouse, Alex, for 5 years, and we have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, Lily. My life is good, stable, and relatively peaceful, or it was until 2 weeks ago. The source of my current turmoil is my older brother, Mark. Mark is 35, and to say we have a strained relationship would be a massive understatement. Growing up, Mark was the golden child, the athletic star, the charming one, and I was just me. From as far back as I can remember, Mark made my life a living hell. It wasn't just typical sibling rivalry. It was genuine, targeted cruelty. He'd hide my things, break my toys, spread rumors about me at school, physically push me around, and constantly belittle my interests. If I got a good grade, he'd scoff and say I was a nerd with no social life. If I tried out for a team, he'd tell me I was too weak or uncoordinated. He was a master manipulator, always finding ways to make me look like the bad guy to our parents while he maintained his perfect facade. Our parents, bless their hearts, were utterly blind to it, or perhaps unwilling to see it. Whenever I tried to tell them what Mark was doing, they'd dismiss it as sibling squabbles, or tell me I was being too sensitive, or even blame me for provoking him. Mark just plays rough, my father would say, or you need to learn to stand up for yourself, my mother would advise, conveniently ignoring that any attempt to stand up for myself against Mark usually resulted in him escalating his bullying. Once, in high school, he sabotaged my science project the night before it was due, pouring soda all over the delicate circuits I had spent weeks soldering. I was devastated, cried for hours, and got an F. When I tearfully confessed what he'd done to our parents, Mark, with crocodile tears, claimed I had done it myself out of frustration and was trying to blame him. My parents believed him. I ended up having to redo the entire project for partial credit, while Mark got off scot-free. This was a pattern that repeated itself countless times throughout our childhood and adolescence. When I went away for college, it was the greatest relief of my life. I finally had space, freedom, and an environment where I could thrive without Mark's constant shadow. I flourished, made incredible friends, and met Alex. Mark, meanwhile, bounced around a few colleges, never really applying himself, eventually dropping out and floating through various unfulfilling jobs. He's always relied on our parents for financial support, living at home well into his late 20s, and even now, they subsidize his rent and car payments. He's never held down a stable job for more than a year or two, and I maintained minimal contact with Mark after moving out. Our interactions were limited to family gatherings, and even then, I'd try to keep my distance. He never truly changed. His barbs became more subtle, but the underlying contempt and superiority were always there. He'd make passive-aggressive comments about my career. Must be nice to sit at a computer all day, not having to actually work. My parenting choices. Lily looks a little pale. Are you feeding her enough organic kale, Mr. Healthnut? Or my appearance. Still wearing those nerdy glasses, huh? I learned to tune him out, to deflect, to grey rock him, as they say. Alex witnessed some of these interactions early in our relationship and was appalled. He's always been incredibly supportive and protective, and he quickly picked up on Mark's toxic behavior, urging me to cut him off entirely. I always hesitated, mostly because of our parents. They're good people, truly, but their inability to see Mark's true colors has always been a painful blind spot. They'd be heartbroken if I completely ostracized my own brother. 2 weeks ago, everything changed. I received a frantic call from my mother. Mark was sick, very sick. He had been diagnosed with a severe kidney disease, and his kidneys were failing rapidly. He needed a transplant, and he needed one soon. The doctors had said that family members were the most likely to be a match. My parents had already been tested and, sadly, were not suitable donors. My father had a pre-existing heart condition, and my mother's blood type wasn't a match. Then came the bombshell. My mother told me that I was a perfect match. A 99% match, in fact, which is incredibly rare for siblings. She was crying, begging me to consider donating. My father got on the phone too, his voice heavy with fear and desperation. They pleaded with me, telling me that I was Mark's only hope, his last chance. "He's your brother," my mother choked out. "You have to help him. Please." I was in shock. My stomach churned. The thought of undergoing major surgery, of giving a part of my body to the person who had tormented me for decades, felt surreal and horrifying. I told them I needed time to think, to process, to speak with Alex. They understood, but their urgency was palpable. When I told Alex, he was immediately against it. "Absolutely not," he said, his jaw clenched. "After everything he put you through? The physical abuse, the emotional manipulation, the constant put-downs? He doesn't deserve your sacrifice. He doesn't deserve a thing from you." He reminded me of all the times I came home from school in tears because of Mark, of the damage Mark had done to my self-esteem, of the years it took me to truly feel comfortable in my own skin. "What about Lily?" Alex continued. "What if something goes wrong with the surgery? What if you have complications? She needs you. We need you. You're not just responsible for yourself anymore." His words resonated deeply. Lily is my world, and the thought of anything happening to me, of not being there for her, is unbearable. I tried to explain this to my parents when I called them back. I gently brought up my concerns about the surgery, about the recovery period, about my responsibilities as a parent, but they weren't hearing it. Their desperation had morphed into a thinly veiled anger, directed squarely at me. "How can you even think about refusing?" My father boomed. "This is your brother. Family helps family. What kind of person are you?" My mother, usually so gentle, was even more cutting. "After all we've done for you, for both of you, you can't even do this one thing for your own flesh and blood? Mark is dying. Do you want to have his death on your conscience?" I tried to explain my history with Mark, the years of abuse, the lack of apology, the fact that he still treats me with thinly veiled contempt. I told them about the science project, about the bullying, about how he never once truly apologized for anything. They dismissed it all. "Oh, that's ancient history," my mother exclaimed. "You need to let go of the past. He's a changed man now that he's sick. He needs you." My father added, "He's grown up. He's learned his lesson. He's facing death, for goodness sake. He's apologized for anything he did, haven't you, Mark?" That's when I realized Mark was on the line too, listening in. He hadn't said a word until then, but now he spoke, his voice weak and raspy, but with a familiar undertone of manipulation. "Please, little brother," he croaked. "I know I wasn't always the best big brother. I was a jerk sometimes. But I'm scared. I don't want to die. I promise I'll be different. I'll make it up to you. I'll be the brother you always wanted." His apology felt hollow, forced, and entirely self-serving. It lacked any genuine remorse, any real acknowledgement of the depth of his cruelty. It was a plea for a kidney, not a genuine desire for reconciliation. I felt a cold knot form in my stomach. The conversation escalated into a full-blown argument. My parents hit me with an ultimatum. "If you don't do this," my father stated, his voice devoid of warmth, "if you let your brother die when you could save him, then we will have no choice but to cut you out of our lives. We cannot stand by and watch you abandon your family. You will no longer be our son." My mother echoed him, her voice cracking with what sounded like genuine despair, but also a chilling finality. "We will disown you. You won't be welcome in our home, and we won't acknowledge you as our child. We won't have a child who lets his brother die." I was speechless. Disowned. Over a kidney. For a brother who had systematically broken me down for years. For parents who had always refused to see the truth of our relationship. It felt like a betrayal on an epic scale. I hung up, shaking, my mind reeling. Alex held me, trying to soothe me, but I was beyond comfort. I spent the next few days in a haze, barely sleeping, barely eating. I replayed every interaction with Mark, every memory, good and bad, mostly bad. I thought about my parents, about their love, about the good times we did have as a family. But the ultimatum, the sheer unfairness of it, overshadowed everything. On one hand, there's the moral imperative. A human life is at stake. My brother's life. And I can save him. What kind of person would I be if I let him die when I had the power to prevent it? The guilt, my parents' scorn, the weight of that decision would be immense. I'd be branded as the cold, heartless brother forever. And the thought of losing my parents, of being cut off from them and their grandchildren, is a devastating prospect. Lily adores her grandparents, and they adore her. To deny them that relationship, and to deny Lily her grandparents, would break my heart. On the other hand, there's the years of abuse, the emotional scars, the complete lack of genuine remorse from Mark. He has never been a brother to me in any meaningful sense. He's been a tormentor. And what about my own well-being, my own health, my own family? Am I obligated to risk my life, to sacrifice a part of myself, for someone who has consistently treated me with cruelty and disdain? Alex's words echo in my mind. He doesn't deserve your sacrifice. What about Lily? I've talked to Alex endlessly about this. He stands firm that I shouldn't do it. He says that if my parents are willing to disown me over this, then their love is conditional and not truly unconditional. He believes that if I donate, I'm enabling Mark and my parents, and it sends a message that my well-being and happiness are secondary to theirs. He points out that Mark has made terrible life choices, never taken responsibility, and now expects me to bail him out of a self-inflicted crisis. My parents have been calling daily, sometimes multiple times a day. Their tone alternates between desperate pleading and righteous anger. They keep reminding me that time is running out for Mark. My mother sent me a picture of Mark in the hospital bed, looking frail and gaunt, which tugged at my heartstrings despite my resentment. But then I remember all the times he looked strong and healthy while making my life miserable. Did I even research the risks of kidney donation? While generally safe, there are always risks of complications, both during and after surgery. There's a recovery period, potential pain, and long-term implications for my own health. I have a demanding job and a young child. I worry about how this would impact my ability to be the best father and husband I can be. I've considered therapy, but I feel like I need an immediate answer, and therapy takes time. I'm torn between a moral obligation to save a life, even the life of my abuser, and my own right to protect myself, my family, and my emotional well-being. This isn't just about a kidney, it's about decades of unresolved trauma, about my parents' inability to see me, about what family truly means. Do I sacrifice myself for a brother who never deserved my kindness, at the risk of my own health and my family's stability, just to appease my parents and avoid their wrath? Or do I stand my ground, protect myself, and face the devastating consequence of being disowned by the people who raised me? I feel like I'm being forced to choose between two impossible, heartbreaking options. I feel trapped, resentful, and utterly alone in this decision. What would you do? How do I navigate this impossible situation?